We could line all those guys up and shoot them.
You're gonna do what now?
Patriotism is dead. There's only rebels and tyrants now.
A world ready for the righteous and the pure to inherit.
Don't believe in surrenders. No, I still got my saber, Reverend. Didn't turn it into no plowshare either.
I'm taking over this territory.
Hello there, everyone. You know, I am ETTemplar, Supreme Misfit Professional Dipshit. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm sick and tired of hearing this fucking angle of toning down the rhetoric. Here, I did a little song for you.
Hey, we've got to tone down the rhetoric, tone down the rhetoric. Trump is Hitler, fascist, and his followers are a threat to national security, but we gotta tone down the rhetoric, tone down the rhetoric, put him on a wall and shoot him, tone down the rhetoric. Political violence is not welcome in democracy unless you're right of center, then we can kill ya, beat ya, and slaughter you in the streets because you're Nazis. We justify violence. Do, 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 do.
Right. So, this is a University of Kansas instructor. So let's see what he has to say, shall we?
Guys are smarter than girls. You got some serious problems. That's what frustrates me. There are going to be some males in our society that will refuse to vote for a potential female president because they don't think females are smart enough to be president.
Well, yeah, there's some that probably legitimate are going to vote like that, but most males are going to judge a politician by their political idealism and what they're going to do with their political career as president or how they're going to rule the country. You see, most men look at Kamala Harris and we see a whore that slept her way to the top that doesn't know shit about policy. We see her as a puppet. We see her as a threat to our constitutional rights, mainly the First Amendment and the Second, and that also goes for Tim Walz. Because Tim Walz also wants to suppress the First Amendment, and he says disinformation has no place in the freedom of speech. So we look at Kamala Harris, we look that her political policies are going to be ass and a danger for America and mainly us as males, because if it goes to World War III or a global conflict, guess who has to fight in that shit? Guess who gets drafted to be cannon fodder for this stupid whore's shitty policy? We do. So a lot of men are looking at Kamala and going, no, I'm not going to vote for her because, one, her policies are shit, and we think she's bad for the United States and America as a whole. It has nothing to do with, like, the idea, or any one of us are saying that all women are mentally retarded. Good fortune, maybe, but we're not saying, we're not voting for women because they're retarded. That's not, again, this is to be expected from communist, Marxist, leftist way of thinking. They set up this fucking straw man, and then they paint everyone with this coat of paint. This coming from the same group of people who are always saying annoying shit like, don't judge a book by its cover, and don't judge the actions of many on the actions of a radical few. When they'll use the same form of political tactic against anyone right of center. But let's get to the meat and potatoes of this.
We could line all those guys up and shoot them. They clearly don't understand the way the world works. Did I say that? Scratch that from the recording. I don't want the deans hearing that I said that.
Oh, but the deans heard it. I think he's been suspended as of, and I'm glad they didn't. Someone didn't delete this. So he did have a comment, and we're gonna react to it here. So bear with me as I bring up this. What he says here. So, of course, he responds by saying this. The instructor offers his sincerest apologies and deeply regrets the situation. His intent was to emphasize his advocacy for women's rights and equality by saying he wants to round up and fucking shoot us. All right. And he recognizes he did a very poor job in doing so. So can you imagine? All right, let's put this into perspective. Let's say if I was, God help you, if I was an instructor at a university and I said, oh, you know what? I think we should take some of these leftists and Marxists and fucking hang them on lampposts. Can you imagine the shit? People would be going out for lumber and nails to crucify me. But since this guy's a leftist, and you can't walk that back, after you said something like this, I hope this instructor gets fired. And like, this is bullshit. You can't simply advocate for putting people on the wall and walk that back by saying, oh, my sincerest apologies. Again, that's like me saying, oh, I think I should find this instructor and hang him up on the lamppost for being a dirty fucking godless communist, right? And then be like, oh, my sincerest apologies. Let me walk that back, right? It's this guy. So it's just, I'm not surprised. Because, again, at the start of this video, they're the ones always talking about, I gotta tone down the rhetoric. Tone down the rhetoric, guys. Even though we'll paint all of Trump's, like, followers as fascists and a threat to democracy, you know, the kind of heated language that fascists and communists would use against political officials. But then again, we're talking about liberalism and Marxism here. It's like when fucking Destiny, right, says he wants to have a hunting season on conservatives, even though his little bitch ass is never going to do anything about it because he loves life too much. And him, Vaush, and Hassan Piker, the thing we have to remember that these guys are, these three, and this will be censored out since we're on YouTube, these three, they love life too much. This isn't like the 1917 revolution in Russia, right? This isn't at the point where, you know, there's nothing left but communism, so you have nothing left to do but to fight for communism because you're about to starve to death in winter, freeze to death. Some of those people did, in fact, freeze and starve to death and were shot by their own political leaders later, which is ironic because communism's killed more communists than fascists or anyone else. So I guess communism does do us a service. Thank you, guys. But anyways, to get back on track, this is the same kind of hypocritical bullshit to, we should just expect this. And it's amazing how this instructor can think he can just walk that shit back. Like, oh, I was just advocating for women's rights. Oh, so now we can justify political violence if it's for women's rights. What if I say, we're not going to do that one again, but it's just, it's funny, isn't it? Now, the same people who are saying, tone down the rhetoric, are the ones that are often most unhinged and violent. So me personally, I'm just tired of this double standard from the left and Marxists and Democrats, you know, where they can say tone down the rhetoric. And when this instructor can threaten to kill, like, people, line them up on a wall and shoot them, and the only thing he says is offers his sincerest apologies and deeply regrets the situation. Yeah, I bet you do, because now you're on suspended leave, and I hope you get fucking fired, you piece of shit. But anyways, this is the double standard. It's like with Destiny, Vaush, and Hassan Piker. These three assholes can advocate, watch, like, terrorist propaganda footage. Hassan Piker recently was watching, like, Houthi propaganda, well, the machine guns and shit. Vaush and Destiny, I know Destiny has, like, threatened violence on conservatives before, but it's just funny when these three people complain and bellyache when Trump says it's going to be a economic bloodbath, when they go, oh, that's for advocating of violence. It's like, you guys are the champions of insinuating political violence. Hello there, guys. Post-editing ETTemplar here. There's one more thing I wanted to touch upon. Destiny always bellyaches about January 6th. You know, he's always going, it was armed insurrection against the United States. They tried to overthrow our democracy and our republic. It's like, wait, you're the motherfucker who advocates for Marxism, communism, and to overthrow the government. So which is it? Are you against the United States government and the democracy? Like, shit or get off the pot? Which one are you? Are you pro-democracy or are you a communist, Marxist, godless, like barbarian piece of shit? So like to Destiny, which one is it? Are you offended that the proletariat rose up against the elite class or not? Or does it only depend if it's when it's leftists and like anarchists and Antifa doing it? I think that's the proper way around it. But regardless, Vaush, Destiny, Hassan Piker are all three silver spoon assholes that are grifting communists and liberals out of their money. And I think it's pretty fucking funny, even though they threaten like death upon conservatives. It's funny because they're literally stealing money from the proletariat and the working and struggling class that they claim to protect. They're hoarding that money and they're not doing anything for fucking anyone, as is like real communism, right? The real Politburo, and they don't give a shit about anyone. So that's kind of rich about that. And there's grifters on both sides, but these three guys are the biggest grifters when it does come to communism and extreme left politics, which is kind of funny. Anyways, shut the fuck up. But anyways, that's my 2 cents on that. It's a whole load of horse shit. And it's amazing. And the funny thing that is just the cherry on top to all this shit is they said strike that, stop the video and the recording. And whoever left this video up or whoever brought this to attention, you are a hero. And I don't care if you are a communist or leftist that shared this video, because again, from the people who espouse that political violence has no place in our democracy, or should really also hold their own people to account on that standard. It can't be just a tool levied against people, anyone right of center or libertarians, okay? So if you're doing it, you should also police your own camp for it. But then again, these people are unhinged fucking extremists, and they're not going to hold their own people to a standard or hold themselves accountable to morality. Because again, by and large, these are godless communists, pieces of shit. And what's morals? But what's the difference between good and evil? But then there's just a difference in opinion. Anyways, see you next time. Hopefully you found this interesting. Got a kick out of it. But yeah, this shit needs to fucking stop, and I'm pretty sick of it. And speaking of political violence, today is the day Mario Tehran fired the bullet and made Che Guevara a good communist. Anyways, hopefully you found this interesting in some way. There should be some crap on screen, something above my head, some shit over here. There's links in the description down below. And see you next time. Take it easy. God bless. And yeah, watch out for the bullshit.